nice, cool, breezy morning, huh? A little bit different for us. Yes. Well, I'm gonna call Commissioners Court to order. Washington County Commissioners Court is now in session Tuesday, November 21st, 2023 at 9 a.m. And Commissioner Mayeski, would you introduce her?
This morning we got Deacon Al Prescott from St. Mary's Catholic Church to lead the invocation, and we'll do the pledges.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Good autumn morning, right? We are reminded that summer is gone and autumn is here, yeah. Pretty interesting. I like sitting in the back of the room here. I'm hearing, with these hearing aids, you hear conversations going on up here. I'm hearing about, yes. Something about wearing skimpy clothes at a Halloween party. I don't know what it was, okay? I'm going to confession afterwards after what I heard, all right? So, on this beautiful day, let us pray. Thanksgiving is a time of gratitude to God, our Creator and Provider, whose guidance and care go before us, and whose love is with us forever. Thanksgiving is a time to reflect on the changes, to remember that we, too, grow and change from one season of life to another. Thanksgiving, a time of changing seasons, where leaves turn golden in autumn's wake, and apples are crisp, and in the first chill breezes of fall. So let us remember the true meaning of Thanksgiving as we see the beauty of autumn. Let us acknowledge the many blessings which are ours. Let us think of our families and friends, and let us give thanks in our hearts. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The Texas flag.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Item number 3, presentation of the Sexual Assault Response Team biennial report for Washington County. Ms. Ball, how are you this morning?
Good morning. I'm doing well. I'm excited for the cooler weather, just in time for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Judge and Commissioners, for having us this morning. So the report, I believe you guys have it in front of you. We do have extra copies if you would need an extra copy as well. I'm not going to bore you with all the details. It's like 27 pages long. But just to kind of give you a high level, one, this is to satisfy the legislative requirement that went into place 2 years ago that you guys helped support to formalize our SART here in Washington County. We had already been conducting those, but of course the legislator put additional protocols in place that we had to meet. And so this is one of those protocols that we are presenting to you. So in that report, you'll see attendance for the last 2 years, some data metrics, as well as trends, and then the longest part is the actual functioning protocols of the team. And those are a living, breathing document that we will continue to monitor and assess and ensure that we're putting best practices in place for our survivors across Washington County. The data itself, you'll notice that in the last 2 years, we've actually seen a small decrease in Washington County, primarily out of the reporting to Glen Brenham. And so that is, could be indicative of a positive trend, that there are less assaults happening. But generally what we're seeing across the 7-county region is that reporting is full of barriers for survivors, and so there are lots of factors that go into play that reduce reporting for survivors. So we'll continue to monitor those and ensure that all of our collaborative partners across the team are doing best efforts. We have really great collaborative efforts within Washington County, and are very grateful for all of our team members on the SART. The other community trends noted is that on the Brenham campus at Glen, the dorm rooms are recurrent locations. We've noted that that's happening more frequently, as well as delayed reports, date rape, and drug-related assaults. So again, we're continuing to monitor those trends and ensure that law enforcement, district attorney, our office are doing everything we can to ensure that survivors are taken care of through the process. If you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer them now, or we're always available if you have questions down the road as well.
Well, and I appreciate your efforts, and it's maybe, I mean, we don't know for sure, but maybe it's because of the efforts that you guys have put in place for people with these types of assaults. So thank you for the work you do. We really appreciate it. It's been very helpful in Washington County.
Thank you.
Yeah, we really appreciate what y'all are doing, and I think the Commissioner is absolutely correct. Your efforts are being reflected in these numbers, I think. So thank y'all so much for your efforts.
Thank you for all the work you're doing. I know it's hard to keep up with that, and I appreciate that very much.
Thank you so much. We couldn't do it without your support and without our collaborative effort.
Well, and thanks to all those county offices that are part of that collaborative effort, and in our community, there are hospitals and everything involved in this, so it takes everyone, all the feet on the ground, right? So
For sure.
thanks so much for what you do.
Yes, thank you.
All right, thank you for being here. Item number 4, presentation of the Historical Commission's project update. Mr. Stevens?
Thank you, Judge. First of all, I'd like to introduce my colleague, Dr. Mike Schlabach, who's our cemetery's chairman of the commission. Back in January, when I gave the court our annual update on what we were doing, I just said, in regard to the Washington Cemetery, I just said, well, we've begun efforts to try to reclaim better protect the historic cemetery at Old Washington. Well, we didn't appreciate how complicated that was gonna be. It's turned out to be one of the most challenging, but yet one of the most rewarding projects that we've ever been in. And since we're now doing so much, and we've even had visitations with Renee and about what we can do and what we can't do, and so I just thought I'd bring you up to date. You've got a memorandum there in front of you that describes where we are and where we're going. And I'll be glad to answer any questions. Dr. Schlabach and I can know the answers to most of them.
Well, I know this much. It may have been a daunting task, but they had the right people involved. Your group is very active, and we really appreciate the work you do in preserving the history in Washington County. It's pretty phenomenal what you guys are doing. I've complimented you on that by yourself at times, Mr. Stevens, because it amazes me your amount of energy that you put into this effort. So it does not go unnoticed. So thank you for what you're doing, and thank you for your team. You've assembled a team that seems to be very interested in the preservation of the historical sites in Washington County.
Well, thank you, Kirk, and we appreciate your help and advice on getting our application in for the hot funds.
Sure.
I think it's a great project we're doing there. And I've been there and I've seen it, and it was a mess. And so I'm thinking it's gonna be a great thing once we get that done.
Thank you, Don.
A mess is a general description of what that was. It's a lot more than a mess, that's for sure. So, inattentive, hadn't been cared for in years. So, thank y'all for taking on that project.
And, Mr. Stevens, this might be a good time to explain to the media the significance of that cemetery.
Well, the cemetery was begun just as the graveyard of the town of Washington back when it was part of the Republic of Texas. We believe there's evidence there that the last messenger from the Alamo may be buried there, and one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence. Many more of the prominent citizens of Washington there that were living and functioning when Washington was the capital of the Republic of Texas in 1842. So it's when the jungle's growing in on it. There's been some inappropriate uses of the cemetery, and so a lot of trees have fallen over, broken over, opened some of the vaults and the headstones, and so we think this is a worthy project. We're working. We formed a cemetery association, which is a nonprofit, to manage the future operations of the cemetery. We're working with the park, the state historic site, who will, when the cemetery is properly reclaimed, they will mow it and keep it up. But they're not gonna manage it. That would be the new cemetery association's job. But our job as a commission is to get it to that point where they do take it over and the cemetery association will manage it. So we may have to put in a new fence along some parts of it. We have to negotiate with the African American Cemetery Association next door to provide proper ingress to the historic cemetery. That'll involve a little road. So there's a lot to do, and we think we can get it done.
I know you can.
No doubt.
Don's been out there to see it.
Okay.
Well, and this association is the one that's applying for the hot funds, just so
Yes,
you know.
the new association.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you for what y'all are doing. Thank you so much. And Dr. Slavbach, thank you for joining in and willingly taking on that project.
You just gotta make sure that he doesn't retire, Mr. Slobach, because you'll be next in line.
He's
I'm
already in
sure.
his second career here.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Item number 5, discuss and possibly act upon the approval of pending Washington County Expo rental regulations contracts. This morning, we have one of those. It is for Quinceanera.
I'll move upon the approval of pending Washington County Expo rental regulation contracts and authorize the county judge to sign.
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6, discuss and possibly act upon the approval of a contract for representation of indigent defendants. Mr. Ballard, is he here today? No. Okay. Anybody have any questions or comments about the contract?
No, these were discussed in budget, Judge, and
Correct.
these,
Exactly.
Numbers
they
are
were
set.
budgeted for these contracts.
Right,
So,
exactly.
I make a motion to approve the contract for representation of indigent defendants.
I'll second that motion.
Do I need to include Mr. Ballard's name, or
No.
just,
No,
I do?
just- No, you do not.
I'll make it as complete as possible.
Just a second, let's wait a minute. Contracting, yeah, it is the attorney, Scott Ballard, okay.
And is
I'm
this
in
just
my,
for the misdemeanor courts, or is it for the felony courts as well?
it's for,
Of indigent defendants, let's see.
it's misdemeanor.
So include that in your motion for misdemeanor services with Scott Ballard.
Correct.
Yes. So I amend my motion to reflect that.
Okay.
We'll need a second for that.
I'll second that motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, discuss a formal notice for a water service installation by Corix Utilities in the Palestine Road right-of-way, Precinct 1. Mr. Stokes?
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. Yes, we do have 3 service connections that would be crossing Palestine Road at the intersection of Palestine and Ellerman Road. This is to serve 5 new proposed lots that are going to be brought before the Commissioners Court very soon for a new plat that the owner, Samantha Medvey, has been working with us on. This is going to serve 5 of these lots with 3 of these bores, 2 of them being dual service. The crossing itself will be 48 inches below the paved area and 36 inches minimum underneath the flow line of the ditch.
Okay, is there any other discussion?
No.
Okay. Item number 8, discuss and possibly act upon an oil and gas development permit for Watt Energy LLC on Sun Oil Road, located in Precinct 3.
Yes, this is an application from Want Energy for a new development for oil and gas on Sun Oil Road. The actual site access is 9998 Sun Oil Road. They have submitted their application as well as their agreement, and bond is on file with the county. The total mileage for the proposed route that's been submitted is 2.68 miles. And I do just want to go ahead and reiterate that this is primarily a permitting for the road use. The Commissioners Court as well as the county cannot reject a oil and gas applicant to do any well service, with the exception of having an agreement in place with the county to be able to utilize our roads and repair the roads to pre-existing conditions. So with that being met, we really cannot reject or deny them service if they meet these requirements.
And this road agreement allows us to collect any funds from them tearing up our roadways.
Correct.
And I think that needs to be noted, if the news media would be so kind to note that, because our constituency is getting this mixed up with an actual oil lease. The county does not have an opportunity or the authority to do something like that on private property. This is only the road use of the right-of-way within the county's jurisdiction. So we're not proposing the production of this oil and gas lease. We are merely trying to protect our assets and the taxpayers' assets in the roadway.
Correct.
Correct.
And this roadway has been videoed for the existing condition.
Right. Okay,
I make a motion to approve the oil and gas development permit for road use for Watt County LLC on Sunall Road located in Precinct 3.
I'll second.
motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 9, discuss and possibly act upon an oil and gas development permit for Wildfire Energy Operating LLC in Averman Road located in Precinct 4.
Yes, this is another oil and gas development permit application that's been submitted. This is an existing site, an existing pad on Overman Road in Precinct 4. The exact site entrance is at 1244 Overman. This is going to be a new well that's going to be along that existing pad. So just kind of wanted to throw that out there, that it's not going to be quite as much infrastructure that's going to have to be brought in, but it is going to be new infrastructure. With that in mind, the proposed route would come from 290 along Overman at a course of the length of 1.29 miles. This particular stretch of roadway has been videoed for its existing conditions. This is a new user for the county in terms of having an agreement and bond, so they do. This is their first one they've submitted their agreement and bonds in place for. We do have those original hard copies in place, and everything is in order.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve the oil and gas development permit for Wildfire Energy Operating LLC on Overman Road located in Precinct 4.
I'll second that.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 10, discuss and possibly act upon the placement of Crestview Lane, 0.438 miles in the Spring Creek Estate Section 3 subdivision in the 1-year maintenance period and reducing the bond by 50% in Precinct 2.
Yes, we've been working with Spring Creek Estate Section 3, as you've seen it about a year ago from the initial plating approval, and they have concluded their construction activity in the area. They have seeded, and we've started to see germination for the winter grass, which is mainly rye. We have talked to them that once the spring hits and we start getting those warmer weathers, typical of most other construction, that they'll have to actually seed for those more summer grasses, so they're going to seed Bermuda at that time. But otherwise, everything else is in place, and construction is complete, and we are ready to approve this into the 1-year maintenance phase.
I make a motion to place the Crestview Lane 0.438 miles in Spring Creek Estates Section 3 subdivision into the 1-year maintenance period and reducing the bond to 50% in Precinct 2.
I second that motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 11, discuss and possibly act upon the authorization for the county engineer to seek bids for the 2024 annual bid items: contract mowing, culverts, dry bridge piling, fuel, oil, asphalt emulsion, road construction materials, tires, steel products.
Yep, it's this time of the year where we're getting ready for the 2024 activities. We want to go ahead and get our advertisement out for these bid items. I did just want to note a couple things. We did make some slight adjustments in some of these, one of which is The fuel cards, last year, I don't know if you remember, the auditor worked with a state pricing contract for this, so we're not gonna go for the sealed bid proposal on this one. However, we will be doing the standard jet fuel and the rest of the bulk fuel purchases for the rest of the year, but that portion is gonna go through the state pricing contracts. Along with that, we've added AC-10 into the the oil and emulsion bid package, as we are gonna be doing our chip sealing next year, so just wanted to throw that out there. Road construction materials, we've added some new topping rock materials to go along with that exact same operation. Tires, we did include a few new tires for some of our older motor graders, just given the fact that we're actually starting to bring those out of retirement, mainly for setting up additional roadways. And the only other thing, I guess, is for the contract mowing, we did include one new subdivision into the set for precinct 2. So for that one, there was 0.397 miles additional from the 2023 numbers. But otherwise, we're pretty much exactly as we've been in previous years.
I move upon the authorization for the county engineer to seek bids for the 2024 annual bid items, contract mowing, culverts, dry ditch pilings, fuel, oil, asphalt, emulsion, road construction materials, tires, and steel products.
We need to put the dates.
Do we need to put that
Yes.
date?
So the proposed dates and times would be, we are gonna be seeking the due dates to be December 13th, 2023 at 10 a.m. And we're proposing the award to be on December 19th, 2023 at 9 a.m.
And they're due at the county clerk's office, and they'll be opened in this courtroom.
Correct.
And what was the due date again?
The due date is December 13th, 2023 at 10 a.m.
Okay.
The award date will be December 19th
At 9 a.m.
at 9 a.m. in this courtroom. I second that motion.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Item number 12, discuss and possibly act upon the approval of setting dates and times for the Commissioners Court meetings of 2024 as the second Tuesday as the regular meeting at 9 a.m. and the first, third, fourth, and fifth Tuesdays at 9 a.m. as special meetings.
I make a motion to approve setting the dates and times for the Commissioners Court meetings of 2024 as the second Tuesday as the regular meeting at 9 a.m. and the first, third, fourth, and fifth Tuesdays at 9 a.m. as special meetings.
I second that motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 13, discuss and possibly act upon the approval of accounts payable.
Good morning. This week, we will be paying $403,559.74 in different invoices. Nothing that really stood out as
Nothing jumps out of this one.
nothing, normal stuff.
I move upon the approval of accounts payable.
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion?
Pick one, mister.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Item number 14,
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second this motion.
motion been made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Yeah.
Happy
Happy
Thanksgiving. Gobble, gobble, gobble. and all this. Or oink, oink in some cases.
All right.